Hi, girlfriend. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I promised you guys to talk about boundaries. So, tonight seemed like the best time. Everybody's asleep. I have to be in bed, but I still have some minutes to spare. So, let's talk about boundary. I have done my research, so I took my time to figure it out so I can give you guys the best of the best. So if you're new here, please welcome and subscribe to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome, girlfriend. So what is boundary? It says it's the limit you set to define what you will or will not tolerate. So boundaries look like your limit, how far you can go. Even on the roads that we drive on, there is a limit to the speed. If you go over the speed, you could have a fine because that's the government's boundary. That's the road boundary with other drivers. You could be in an accident. So it's to protect yourself. They set those boundaries not because the government hates you. The government doesn't hate you. He doesn't even know you. But it's to protect yourself and then other people. The government, does he care about your feelings when he set that road sign, when he put that boundary on the road? No. There is boundary for everything. Even the time you have to pay a bill, sometimes there is a deadline, which is the boundary of how far the company can allow you to be in debt to them. So there is boundary everywhere. Even countries have boundaries. You can't, like, as soon as you get to the border of France, there are immigration there on the border of France. Those are the people who make sure the boundary is ensured. If you cross that boundary, you're going to go through a lot of processing before you go out and in of the country. So even countries on the map, you see the mark there, which shows that is their boundary. Outside there is another country. God has a boundary. If you read Proverbs chapter 8, verse 28 to 29, I have my Bible here. I came with my Bible. I am not going to just state it. It says, when he established the clouds above, when he straightened the fountains of the deep, when he gave to the sea his decree that the waters should not pass his commandment, when he appointed the fountains of the earth. So God gave the clouds their boundaries. He gave the sea their boundaries. So the sea can't come to my house just like that. And the earth has its boundaries. So if you're a human being and you don't have boundaries, you are set up for disaster. If you don't communicate your limits to people, people will walk over you, people will use you, people would, you know how people are. You know how human beings are. Even you, when you meet someone who can't say the word no and they just, oh yeah. Like they're willing to place people, you see them as, you just have this, ooh, they have time for everything. Like they want to be liked by everybody so bad. Like they have no boundaries. They'll kill themselves for people, right? Who don't even deserve it. And do people respect these people who do that? No. They don't until they have a backbone. They don't respect these people. They treat them anyhow. They don't even want to be their friends. They don't even want to be associated with them. Only when they want to use them. Only time. And then the biggest people in the world who don't have boundaries is the relationship between mother and children. Mostly mothers tend to lower their boundaries when it comes to their family, which is very normal. But if it goes outside of the family and you let other people's kids also treat you like the way your kids treat you, then that mother has a problem, doesn't she? Even you will stand up for your mother, because the way you talk to your mother, if you see somebody else outside who is not your sibling talking to your mother that exact way, you get pissed off, right? Like, no, don't talk to my mom like that. But maybe you talk to her like that. So you expect your mom to have a backbone. But when it comes to, you and your mom, sometimes they have unconditional love because they're mothers. They carried you. And they tend to have boundaries. So don't walk around having that mother unconditional love for human beings because it doesn't work. So let's go into the types of boundaries that there are. So we have physical boundary, which is the boundary of the distance you allow people into your space. I had a friend when I was in school. Let me talk about this. When I came to Spain, in the year I came to Spain, I was admitted to an all-girls school. So my friends were girls. It was very beautiful. We had our uniforms, very girly. So in my friends group, we were about almost 10 girls, I would say, if I remember. 8 to 10 girls, yeah. let me say, rounded. And I was the only black girl amongst them. And there was this white girl, Spanish girl. She was very cute, just like me. I might be a little bit taller than her. You know, people who know me in real life will laugh, but I was a little bit taller than her. And one thing I noticed about that girl, she doesn't allow people into her personal space to the extent that nobody hugs her. She doesn't hug people. And everybody knew. First, I didn't know, right? So one time I was going home because I had an appointment and I had to leave school really early. So I told my friends, "Oh, girls, I have to go. Like, my dad is waiting for me." And all the girls are like, "Oh, we're going to miss you." So, you know, ladies, we decided to give each other hugs. And I got to her. I didn't know. Hey, I was new in the group. And they're like, "No, she doesn't like to hug." And I was like, "Come on." So I was trying to, be like, "Come on, maybe, I don't know." I wasn't trying to, I didn't know what boundaries were. So I was trying to push it, like, "Come on, give me a hug." And she's like, "No, no, I don't hug people. It's not about you. I just don't hug people. I don't like people invading my personal space." And I was like, I felt offended. I really felt offended at that time because I was very young. And I was like, why doesn't she want to hug? And I took it personal. And I told my dad, I was like, "Dad, I have this friend. She doesn't like to hug." And my dad is a very wise man. My dad is like, "Honey, there are people in this world who have physical boundaries. They don't allow people into their space that much. Some people don't like to kiss on a first date. That's their physical boundaries. Some people don't like to be touched inappropriately. That's their physical boundaries. Some people just don't like people even being too close to them in public. So some people even avoid crowded places. It has nothing to do with you." My dad told me that it has nothing to do with you. Respect their boundaries. Don't hug them until they feel comfortable enough to hug you. Because if the other girls are saying it, then it's true. It's not only you. She does all of them. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Why am I even taking it personal? So my dad actually talked to me and I was like, that's so true. And I thought about that. I was like, wow, what are some of my boundaries? So at that young age, I started thinking, she actually pushed me to discover something about myself. Like, I was like, I should have a boundary because it's actually a good thing when you let people know, hey, this is my limit. This is something I don't tolerate, or this is something I would tolerate. And it kind of sets you apart on how even people treat you. And the camera is okay for now. It was too much in my face. And it kind of sets how people treat you and how people define you. It gives you a definition, you know? It tells people, hey, you have a backbone. And if you're not comfortable with something, you're not afraid to communicate with them, right? If you have a friend who's like, no, I don't like to be touched, you kind of have some respect for them, especially when you're playing with them. You kind of like, okay, let me make sure I don't touch her because I like her. She's my friend. I don't want to offend her. So you kind of bring some respect among your friends and your friend group and even outside people who are coming in. They even try to protect you because you do that with people who are close to you and they respect that. So if they see someone trying to break that boundary that you set for your friends, which is them, they will try to even protect you from the person who's trying to break it. And that is the same that happened with my friend, where the other girls were trying to protect her and make sure I don't hug her because they know she's going to be offended, right? So you should have a physical boundary. Identify your physical boundary. I am touchy, but I have to know you, which is my boundary. If I don't know someone, I don't want them to touch me. No, don't touch me. Unless I've known you enough to know you are not a predator. I know you're not someone who's going to take it too far and be too like aggressive with me. So I take time to know people before I hug them or try to get closer to them. I don't just, hey, hi, and unless I know them through a friend who I trust. If they're a friend of a friend I trust, then fine. Because I know if I trust that friend, she's going to be with trusted people as well. So I'm not afraid to get close to people who are close to her. And the next one is emotional boundary. Emotional boundary is how you choose to give your emotions to people, which is your love, just the emotion, like your love. Like, I don't know how to explain the emotions to you apart from love and anger and your joy and laughter and all of that. There are some women who don't have emotional control. They just lash out on even strangers. They don't know how to have boundaries with their emotions, and they don't know how to know when it's like the limit for your love, and to actually not like punish people, but to give people limits on how they are using them emotionally. Some people let people use them emotionally and come back, apologize, use them again, come back, apologize, use them again emotionally, suck all the energy out of them, and now they look very resentful. You know, you give your heart to someone wholeheartedly, unconditional love, and they're not like they're little kids. They're just grown men, and you love them unconditionally, even when they're being crazy with you, even when they treat you bad. Like if people are treating you bad, like if people are making you emotionally sad, if someone is making you emotionally sad, agitated, look, take your energy back. This is your emotions. Your love is yours. You chose to share with them. So if they are not pouring into you or making you feel like they are worthy of you giving them their love, create a boundary. Just create a boundary. Tell them, hey, I'm gone. I can't be here anymore. Just go find someone who you suck that energy from. Not today, not me. Just walk away. You are not a tree, unless you're a tree, unless you're a statue, and you can't move, leave them. Don't let anybody use you emotionally. Okay? This is, even God has boundary. Even this road you walk on, there is boundaries on it. You can't just drive anyhow you want. Even your school, there are rules, which is the school's boundary. Everywhere there is rules. In work, even the house you rent, the landlord, there is a contract you sign. It's a boundary. If you break it, this is the consequences. So why don't we set that with ourselves as human beings? If we set it with like non-human stuffs, if we're able to set boundaries with non-human stuff, like God setting boundaries with the sea, God setting boundaries with the clouds and the earth, and you can't set boundaries with your fellow human being who is using your emotions, which is your power, and you can't set emotions. Come on, you need to have a backbone to be able to know when someone is using you emotionally. They only come to you. There are some friends, not only relationship. There are some friends that only come to you when their boyfriend. I know someone like that. They'll only be nice to you or be friendly with you when their boyfriend is not giving them the time of the day. That's when they remember they have friends, and then they'll come to you and try to be nice to you. As soon as they get back with their man and they're very close with their man, they don't care, you know. And I don't think that's a healthy way of using your friends, even though they're your friends to, share stuff with. But don't use your friends as a replacement of like to pouring back in your energy, because they come to you for advice, you encourage them, you put your energy into them, and then they go and give it to the man. They let the man suck everything. They won't listen to your advice, nothing. Okay, so try to make friends who listen. Try to make friends with people who listen, who are intelligent and smart women. And then, because it's not like I don't go to people for relationship advice. I kind of have enough knowledge to know and recognize when something is not clicking, and I just walk away. I don't want to complain, and still, if I'm complaining, then I'm leaving. That is me. When I start complaining, I first complain to the man. He's not changing. I tell my friend, just know I'm leaving. There is no coming back when I get to that stage, okay? And I'm not coming back. When I leave, I'm gone. When you leave, actually be gone. Some people leave and then they leave the door open, like to see if the man will come. Don't leave. Actually be gone. Nowhere to be found, okay? So create emotional boundary with people who try to use you emotionally to go and give it to somebody else. They're energy vampires and you don't need them in your life. Save your energy for your own self. And the other one is time boundary. Oh yeah, I fell victim to this. I used to, and sometimes I'm late, and I realize that's not a good thing because I need to respect people's time when they're waiting for me. Sometimes it's the stuff's out of my control. Maybe my bus was late. I left something, I had to go back and take it. There are certain things which are out of my control, but there are some which is in my control, which is waking up early. I love to sleep. I will sleep. Dead ass. I'll sleep so bad. And I should learn how to wake up and manage my time well. So I'll be on time for the people who need me. Because if I follow the fact that, I'm so sleepy, let me just 5 more minutes, oh, 30 more minutes. If I'm late for 30 minutes, what's wrong with that? I don't think it's a good thing, because this person, I'm imagining they wake up early, they had to do all this just to wait for me for 30 minutes. That sucks. So I've been showing up very early for stuffs. Recently, every appointment I go to, I make sure I am right on time. And I love that. I love the fact that I come in very early, even sometime before the person enters, like maybe 2 minutes early or 5 minutes early. And it goes really well. I'm not anxious. I don't feel stressed. I feel relaxed. And I'm like, this feels so good because when you're late, you're in a hurry, your stress level is high, you walk in, everybody's like looking at you, the person is already pissed off, so it starts off like really bad, especially if it's the first time and they have this impression about you. If you're going to be late, call them. That's what I'm doing now. If I'm going to be late, I just call them. Hey, can you give me like 10 more minutes? I missed my bus, or my bus is not here still, and I can't do anything. I don't have a car or something like that. And they're like, oh, okay. Then they can do something in place of that 10 minutes instead of just sit there and wait. What if I leave and she comes? What if I leave and she comes, or something like that? And don't let people use you time wise to just waste your time, to just date you without any effort, not like effort, without any like future in it. Some people just date you because you look nice, they want to stick with you, and you they don't really like you, but you still waste your time in that relationship thinking they are going to change. Don't let anybody use your time to just pass their time because they have a lot to waste. Use your time wisely. Don't hang out with friends who only club and don't have any future. Use that time to create your life. I could be in the club right now, but hey, is it important more than this? No. This means a lot to me than to be in a club. That is time boundary. So if I have a friend going to club and they call me, of course I'm not coming with them. And another type of boundary is the intellectual boundary. We all have our thoughts and belief, how we're brought up, what we believe in. I have my core beliefs, I have my core values, and I understand that everyone else has it. Even my own brother may have a different opinion or a different value to him, which is different from mine. My mom could, like, I have my two parents, my mom, my dad, both parents have different core beliefs, but they respect each other for that. My dad is an atheist. He doesn't believe in God necessarily. My mom is a very strong religious woman. Like, she believes in God with all her heart. They never had any serious conflict concerning that. And that actually it made my mind very open to both the religious world, the scientific or the atheist. Well, my dad is an atheist, but he believes in science. In the scientific and the atheist world, and also in the spiritual world, because this is me learning from both of them, but I don't even know. As a kid, when my dad would tell me stuff and his reason why he doesn't believe in God, he kind of sound right. If I listen quite well, he kind of have his reason and it sounds right to me. I listen to my mom and she also kind of sound right. So I'm like, okay, both of them are right. It depends on me on what to choose on. That is my life. And I grew up and I choose my own path. Whether it conflicts with my mom and my dad, I don't know and I don't care. But I accept them anyway. I was open-minded to learn from both of them. But I chose my path. Hey, both parents are weirdos. I came from parents who are weirdos, okay? So you can't blame me for being one. So I ended up choosing my own path. My brother, I don't know. I'm sure he'll choose his own path when it comes to his core beliefs and values. I'm not going to I will understand him wanting to be himself. And I expect him to also understand me for choosing my path and be myself. So when it comes to intellectual boundaries, this is how it looks like. You have to be open-minded and listen to people. We have people on the internet that they judge people, criticize people for sharing their opinion. And now when people don't want to share with them, they kind of feel like the world is gatekeeping. Nobody's gatekeeping. You people are too judgmental. Okay? When people are sharing their opinion, don't start judging them from the beginning. Like, I heard people saying, there was this lady going around talking about not doing 50-50 with men and being well taken care of. Hey, that is her opinion. That is her opinion. There are people who resonate with her. There's some people who hate her for that. There's a man who even hates me for supporting her. I know people in real life who hate me because I believe in traditional stuffs. What do I care? Tell me, what do I care? That is my belief. That is my core value. There will be someone, a friend, acquaintance, whatever, who believes something totally different. Should I hate them for them believing what they believe? Like, you just have to know people can't have the same opinion as you. So respect people's intellectual values, respect people's kind of what they believe in. If you're in a debate with someone and they're sharing their opinion, don't be angry. Don't take it personal. Don't use that as an opportunity to insult them, to criticize them for no reason. Why don't you, before you judge someone, sometimes listen, okay? Listen to them, see from their point of view, see from their lens, and understand that, yeah. In fact, when the more you listen, the more you understand people. You're like, wow, that is how you think and you see it. And I see it from this point, like that's wonderful that we both see the same thing with different perspective. Okay, with different, that is why in this world people even use different types of technology. Some people want Samsung, some people want iPhone. The person using Samsung will give you the perfect reason and the values that he sticks to why he uses Samsung. And the person using iPhone will kill to defend iPhone and why it's important to use iPhone. They are both right. The person using the Samsung telling us why it's good to use Samsung is right. Because when you use Samsung, probably what he's saying is the truth. And the person using the iPhone to the same thing. I feel like expression of different opinions matter. Okay, it matters to us because we all don't follow one thing. There's some people who will never like my content because of the way I talk, the way I express myself, the way, it could be so many factors I can't even put my hand on. Same way, I don't like every person or everyone on the internet who creates content or who is a creator. There's some people, they make me sick to my stomach. I'm human. And that is okay. So when you come on the internet or you come across people, even in real life, who have different opinion from you, just respect their boundaries. Respect the fact that they are not you. They didn't come from the same mother as you did, or the same father, or the same address you stay in. So in their home, you don't know what they had to grow up with and what they had to see. That's why they believe different things. So when, or also from the other side, when you are sharing your opinion and someone doesn't agree with you, don't take it personal. Don't. Honestly, it has nothing to do with you. It's the way they see the thing. Okay? Someone doesn't believe 50-50 at all. They believe the man has to pay everything. Some even men believe the man doesn't have to pay. Like, if you keep on going and going, it's going to be an endless conversation. And it might bring so many division. So just understand, okay, you don't want to do this because you believe in gender role, right? Okay. Yeah. I mean, maybe they grew up seeing their father being the responsible one. So that's what they believe. Someone also grew up seeing their mom being the one taking most of the heavy load. Some people grew up seeing both parents dividing the responsibility. Respect people's opinion. And I'm using this as an example because it's the most debated thing on the internet. So people will understand me better, right? And the other one is family and friend boundary. The relationships we have with people outside of ourselves needs boundary. Okay, it needs boundary. You need boundary with your friends because your friends are the people close to you, and they are so familiar with your friends and family. They are so familiar with you that it's easier for them to walk over you or to use you because you kind of have more attachment to them. You have more attachment to your mom. When your mom is going through something and she asks you for help, it's hard for you to say no. It's hard. Or if it's your dad that you love, if they ask you to do something for them, sometimes it's hard. It's hard for you to say no. Or if it's your sibling, if it's your kid, if it's your best friend, if it's your cousin, it's sometimes hard depending on how bonded you are with the person. It becomes hard. I had a friend. I'm going to tell you guys a story. I had to create boundaries because they pretended to be a giver, but that wasn't the case. It was more like they'll give because they expect something back. And when I'm giving, I don't think about what I'm going to get back. I just like, oh, I have this, like, take it. Yeah, whatever. And I mean, we used to live in the same house, right? And I realized, oh, you only give because you know you're going to get something in return. And I actually set boundaries with them because I was like open and just giving to them, they started using things without telling me. They started like touching my stuff without telling me. They started like just point blank wanting to use me in a way. Like they take something, they don't want to give it back. And I was like, so I said them, and I was like, you know what? I know I was very open with you. And I had that talk with them, like the sister talk. I was like, I know I'm very open with you and I allow you to touch my things because I gave you the chance from the beginning. But I didn't know I should have created a boundary, but it's not late. Whatever has happened has passed. From now on, this is the boundary that we have. Guess what? There was so much respect. There was so much like, kind of like, they ask before they take. And that's how it's supposed to be. The fact that I'm close to you doesn't mean you should just take it. What do I look like for the Mother Christmas? No. So that's also the boundaries you set with your families. If your parents they come to your house without telling you first, or your friends come to your house without telling you first, and they come to your fridge and pick stuff, and you should set boundaries. You should set boundaries in your home. You should set boundaries with your family. You should set time they call you. Some people will just call you anytime just because they're your friend. Because I'm your friend doesn't mean you need to call me anytime just to talk about rubbish. Okay, you need to set time with the people close to us because they are the people that we sometimes find it hard to say no to. And if you don't start, if you don't put your foot down, they'll ride you. They'll ride you like a racing car. So start with the people close to us, which is our family and friends. And the last one is work and social settings boundary. So at work, we have people who use their co-workers as therapists, which I don't ever recommend, especially if it's your boss or someone close to the boss. If you have someone close to the boss, don't be telling them things you have planned to do because they will tell your boss and your boss will be like, okay, her salary is too much for her or something like that. So when you have people close to the boss, be careful of how you yap to them. Okay. It could be the assistant, the secretary. Be careful of how you yap to them because everyone wants the favor of the manager, the boss, and whatever. So if you go around telling people all about your plans, your marriage, what you have planned, what field in your life, what business you're working on, you kind of create some kind of envy or something, even though they are co-workers and they don't live with you and they know everything, they kind of might be in a secret competition or your boss might kind of feel like, oh, she's going to buy a new car. What? Like, maybe her salary is too much, maybe blah, blah, blah. And they'll try to sabotage you at work. So if you're going to make friends with people at work, make sure it's people that they have no too much access to the boss or the manager. And don't take people's issue to your boss. That is so lame. Like, come on. Don't take issues with your boss. Respect people's secrets and conversations they have with you most of the time. Maybe that person doesn't have anyone to talk about. So they come into work to tell you, shows how much they trust you. And from the other side too, your co-workers are not your family members. They are not your therapists. You just come there to make money and leave. That is a place for making money. And it could be school, it could be work. That's why I said social. So it could be school. If you're in school and a boy is touching on you if you're a girl, and a boy is touching on you if you're a boy, and another boy is touching on you, you should tell the authorities. You should, or if another teacher is touching on you, you should tell. You should report them without feeling guilty. You have that right. It's your body. You have the right to your body. It's your, the things you tell your coworker, you should learn to control it. I mean, you're an adult. If you're working, you're yapping to all your coworkers and being emotional and all of that. You don't look fit to be in a working space. So learn to be intelligent. Learn to know when to speak to people and where and when. Okay. When you go to work, just talk about things happening at work and laugh, blah, blah, do whatever you have to do. And then when you come home, you can have people that you talk about your personal issues with. And they have no access to, or they're not in your work. That one day when you leave the work, some years later, they see you somewhere and the same husband you were talking about and saying bad things about, they see you on the weekend somewhere and you're with them. And it's like, they look at your husband and like, oh, he looks like a walking open book. And your husband doesn't even know you take your marital issues to work. And it looks very bad because now The husband you talked about, your coworker seeing you with, don't just cut off all that mess, okay? Have people you can talk to. It could be your pastor, your marriage counselor when it comes to like very personal issues. It could be a therapist, it could be your sister or your mom or like your best friend. You can tell them about personal issues. Aside that, I see people bring their stuff at work and talk about their I know a girl at my work and the factory I used to work at. This girl who talks so bad about the husband. I feel so sorry for him. He talks so bad about the husband, and you see her in town. She even got pregnant for him. Yeah, she came to us, told us he's divorcing the husband. The husband is dumb. The husband cheats. The husband doesn't sleep at home. He has so many girlfriends. He even makes calls with the girls in front of her. And she has signed a divorce paper. She's going to give it to the man. They are leaving. To the point that she even told me she has left the house. She has her own rented apartment with her son. And then she ended up getting pregnant. I was like, why would you let me hate? Because I ended up hating the husband because we were in the same company, but the husband was in a different shift. I ended up hating the husband for no reason. Just to know that they get laid up every night. I felt bad. Now I'm talking to him now. I see him and I say, hey, hi, But in my mind, I'm like, your wife is such a bitch. You know that, right? But he doesn't know. But my face actually says when I tell him hi. So don't yap with your coworkers. So with that being said, some people kind of, or might not understand, and will take boundaries the same as creating a wall, putting up a garage, or someone holding up a wall. Boundaries and wall are different. So I'm going to tell you guys the difference to know if you're having a wall up or if it's a boundary. So with boundary, first thing it does is it keeps unhealthy people away. Okay, wall is okay. Let me define wall first. Wall is something you put up because you've been hurt. So it's like a guard. So you know when people go for war and they have a guard up because why do they put that shield up? To protect someone from stabbing them. Okay, because they know there is a possibility of being stabbed. It's something which is there in your mind, your memory. Maybe you've been hurt before. You're scared to be hurt, so you put on a shield. That is a wall. And when you have a wall, you keep everybody out. Okay? You keep everybody out. So when you see those warriors with that wall, nobody can enter. It's hard to penetrate because it's very close to their body. So boundary is different. Boundary keeps people who are unhealthy out, not everybody. So that's a different way. So when you realize you're keeping everybody out, including your friends and family, close friends and family, and you can't really bond with them anymore, and you're lashing out on them, just know you are building a wall and you should lower it down. And the next one is a boundary is built on courage. Boundary is built on the fact that you know what you want and how far you can go. It's like, there's no way you're doing this. There's no way you can go that far. And you know yourself enough and you're brave enough to confront them or let them know that you can do up to this level. So you do it because you're brave. But with the wall, you built upon fear. You're feared to be in love again. You're afraid to be heartbroken again. Like you build it because of a trauma of something that happened in the past and you still haven't healed from it. So you build a wall. Okay. But with the boundaries, not because of the pain, it's because you don't want to actually create the pain in the first place. That's why you put it there. But with the wall, that means the pain has already happened. You're now trying to build a wall because you're afraid. Don't build boundary out of fear. Build it out of courage, out of intelligence, okay? And the boundary keeps you safe. When you have a boundary, you're actually safe. People won't judge you. People will be like, oh, she won't do it. Like, they know you, like, they already know you won't do something. Like my friend who refused to hug me, they know she won't do it. It's keeping her safe. I don't know what happened to her. I don't know what she's trying to communicate with us, but that's something which is actually maybe keeping her safe in a way. Maybe she's trying to she doesn't want people's energy rubbing on her, so she's keeping herself safe. And then war leads to isolation. War will actually isolate you from everybody. You'll be lonely. You won't have friends. You feel like everybody hates you and you're going through depression or whatever. But it's your own walls which you built and let people out. When people are getting close, when you have a wall, people are getting close, you get scared and you run into flight mode or fight mode. And you find every way to sabotage that relationship. That is actually fear. Okay. And that makes you isolated because people become disgusted by your energy. Because when they get close to you, even if they're not here to harm you, they intend to be genuine with you. The way I actually made them feel like, oh, never mind. Okay. But the boundary keeps you safe. And next one is boundaries, a sign of awareness and self-respect. And the walls, a sign of unresolved past wound. So like I said, when you build up the wall, it's a sign of unresolved wound. You don't want someone to touch that wound. Okay. So you build a wall around it. And then the boundary is a sign of awareness and self-respect. That means you're aware something, it can lead to this. So let's respect yourself enough not to get there. You get the whole point. Yeah. You know, you driving like the way I use the road, you driving at a high speed. You know, it could be a result of you creating an accident or you getting a fine. So you're aware of that and you respect yourself enough to drive safely. The boundary actually deepens your healthy relationship already, and the walls makes you a victim of your past. So when you have good boundaries, the people already in your life, it deepens the relationship already. So what are the boundaries you might start with yourself? Because it always starts with you. If you don't set boundaries with your own self, it's hard, or it will be hard for you to set boundaries with other people. Okay. First start with yourself. And the first way is honor your own values. So the rules you set for yourself. To say, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. Or like you believing in monogamy, like, oh, it's only one person at a time. Honor those values. Whatever you believe in, your beliefs and values, honor them. Okay. There's some people I understand they don't have identity or they are still finding themselves. That that's fine. But for those of you who know yourself already and you know this is something you believe in, like maybe you believe there is God. Don't let other people influence you to not drop your own belief and follow them. Okay. Stand with your belief, honor them. Let people respect that about you. Okay. Have your own core beliefs. I'm just saying religion because yeah, it's one of the examples. But whatever you believe in, I don't know you, whatever you believe in, stand by it. And the next one is sticking to your budget. Sticking to your budget is like the budget you have. Some people, they just spend when they see people, when they just spend because they're with their friends and want to show off. They just buy things to impress people. They buy designer clothes just to impress people, buy big stuff just to impress people. Live a simple life. You can live on a budget. I live on a budget. You see me having something nice, I'll make sure I'm not breaking my bank to get it. I'm not. Because unless it's a very valuable thing and I know spending money on it is worth it. Mostly some things I get from the local shops. It's just how you present it what makes it looks nice and expensive. Okay, so stick to your budget. Don't buy expensive things because all your friends are buying expensive things. If that's not your budget, hey, stick to your budget. What's wrong with you not having the latest thing? If you still use iPhone 11 and that's what's making you sleep good at night, use iPhone 11, use iPhone 8, whatever makes you sleep good at night. Okay, don't follow people who are always like doing when this thing new comes and they do it. Let them break their bank. Keep your bank safe and invest in the things which actually means a lot to you. So what that is either going out with your friends, make sure you stick to a budget that actually doesn't make you come home thinking, oh, what am I going to eat next week? Okay. And the third one is protecting your rest time. So when it's time for you to rest, don't break that for anybody. Don't let somebody make you babysit their babies. Don't pick up a call that is this person is about to say something very unnecessary. You pick up just because you are bored. Sleep. When it's your bedtime, actually set boundaries with friends. With my friends, they know there's a certain time they can call me. I'm not picking up. Even my phone is on do not disturb. It won't even come. That's a boundary I set with everybody. Okay. If it's an emergency, why don't you call the police or call like ambulance? What am I going to do anyway? It's not like I have a car, or it's not like I have wings or I have any superpower. So if it's emergency, there are so many ways you can get the emergency service. So don't make yourself an emergency service without getting paid. Go to bed and rest. Okay. Take your rest very, very serious. And not gossiping about others. I know as women, we are all victim. Hey, I gossip about others every day. every day. We talk about things people did, even celebrate, we gossip about them. But you shouldn't make it like, I mean, let's hold ourselves accountable. Even though we do it, some part of us wants to stop and actually focus on ourselves. So just do it. There are certain conversations that you shouldn't even talk about it. You know, share your opinion and just let it go. Don't, or when your friend gets up, you start talking about them. That is the cringiest thing ever. Okay, when you gossip about someone, make sure they're not your friends. Don't gossip about your friends. Don't gossip about other people. That's it. As victims, let's try to not do it often. Okay, and I'm actually learning this in a hard way. I've realized that some conversations when my friends bring it up nowadays, I don't say anything. I just laugh and just ignore it. You know, it's not going to help me. I just think in my head, is this thing helpful? No, I don't care about this information. And then prioritizing your daily movement. So, which is taking care of yourself physically. Make sure you're eating right, you're going to the gym. With this one, I don't break it with myself. Okay. This one, I make sure I'm always well taken care of physically and mentally. My physical and mental health are very, very important to me. So I don't know how I ever break that for. I don't think I would do that for anybody. So you should do that as well. It makes you glow and look nice. And using nonviolent communication, one thing you never hear me say is saying curse words like fuck. Just as a lady, especially for a lady, don't speak like a fisherman. Just talk normal. Don't curse. Don't use bad languages, and just don't. Just speak normal. Okay, it's going to help in the long run. When people are looking for people who represent something in the society, it could be your turn. They'll be like, oh, this girl, she speaks very good. Let's use her. Let's use her to represent us. You never know where talking good could take you to. Okay, you never know where speaking well will take you to. Just comport yourself, speak well, and you never know where you could be one day. And you say those bad words, and people are looking at you like, she doing here? She doesn't even deserve to be here. Or you're looking for somebody in your community to do something really important, and you can't be called, even though you have the looks and everything, but your speech won't get you there. Okay, so learn to speak non-violently, and also like screaming at people and always yelling at people. Don't yell, don't scream at people. Okay, keeping screen out the bedroom. Oh yeah. So which is your phone? Right now I'm with my phone. I know I'm guilty. But when I'm not recording, I make sure I keep my phone in. I have this small drawer here. I just keep my phone inside. I don't put the phone near my bed. I don't leave my phone on my bed. I keep it there and then I just go to bed. So the next morning I wake up and I look for it. Okay, so make sure some minutes or hours before you go to bed, you actually put your screen off. And what I've started doing is, because I don't want to be touching my phone, I keep books around. So I'm reading this book. I've been reading it since I've been reading The Body Keeps the Score. And I have other one also here. Let me see. Um Good Vibe, Good Life by Vex. I read books nowadays. I study, like I have my books around here. Oops. I have books around the where I write my thoughts and journal stuff. I also have my Bible, just to keep me from touching my phone too much, because the endless scrolling is not helpful. Trust me, I have been there than that, and it's not helpful. Okay, so just stop the endless scrolling and find things which will keep you busy apart from your phone. It's very, very important to learn something else apart from you consuming other people's content. Okay, so keep your screen away for some time before you go to bed so you can sleep soundly, and accept compliments without deflection or deflecting it. So when someone tells you, "Oh, you look beautiful," don't start giving reason why they shouldn't compliment you. Don't say, "Oh, I didn't sleep well today. That's why you can't see my eyes are puffy." Like, they just said you look beautiful. They don't need to explain it. Oh, maybe your dress looked nice. Oh, this cheap dress. Oh my God, I just got it from Shein. Girl, would you just stop it and say yes or thank you or I know? Like, accept compliment. Okay, don't start with yourself. Compliment yourself. Some people, you don't even tell yourself, "Oh my God, you look so beautiful. I love you so much. Oh, I love my dress." You should start with yourself. Start telling yourself that. So when people tell you, you don't feel cringe. Okay. And the next point is not working past a certain hour. So, which is like for your work, If your boss is letting you or wanting you to stay late at night to work your whole night at work, just tell them no, you can't. Oh, I have a date, I can't do it. Oh, I have to go somewhere. Oh, my mom needs me. Like I have to do something at home for my mom or whatever. Or I have to rest. I'm very tired. Just don't try to be the best co-worker at the work. You don't get an award for that. Even if you get an award, at what risk? Your health? Prioritize your evenings. Come home, take your shower, have a slow evening, light some candles, have your dinner, set your bed, and just rest. Okay, don't overwork yourself. It's not. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's only going to make you more stressed and less productive. And maintaining a regular bedtime and wake up time. This is something I'm working on so bad because I used to work in the evenings, like 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. So my sleep schedule was crazy. Okay, and now that I'm home for a while, there's some time that body wakes up whenever I want, but I'll train it to the point where I'm able to wake up in the morning, and it's so helpful. And I'm keeping that same consistently. So set a sleeping time and a bedtime and a wake up time. Sorry, a sleeping time and a wake up time for your body. So your body has a regular hormone. Okay, so your hormone stays the same, and setting realistic expectation around your productivity. So, like for instance, even me doing YouTube, I have to be realistic about how productive I can be. There's some days I need to take rest days. I don't always have to be productive and like go get her. And I'm always in your like doing videos without having any motivation and just, you know, just doing it for nothing. Okay. So whatever you are doing, set realistic expectation for it. Be realistic about the expectations. Don't just do it because you're in a competition with somebody, so you overwork yourself and you overproduce. Like know when to rest. Know when to rest. Like, okay, I'm done here. Like I'll continue tomorrow. Okay. And another one is communicating with others when you're uncomfortable. I know this is hard. Some people are not good with confrontation. They don't know how to confront other people. They find it very difficult. I understand, but start small. Start telling yourself the best way to confront other people is to start telling yourself the truth. Honestly, when something happens to you, don't lie to yourself. You are the last person to lie to. Don't lie to yourself. Tell yourself the truth and confront your own self. That way, when someone does something to you, you can actually confront them and tell them, hey, or hold him accountable, like, hey, this thing you said, it's actually very disrespectful to me. I didn't like it. Or, you just state how point blank how you felt and just talk about it. Okay. So that's a very that's a very good boundary. That's what I was talking about, the one with the work and the family and friends and the personal boundaries. That one comes with that. You tell people, no, I don't want to hug. I don't do hugs. I mean, that one's not even confrontation. That's not even like conversation is like maybe your mom coming to your house without telling you, to just knock on your door, like open the door. And even if you have a visitor, or you have your man or your woman at home, it's like so interrupted and you can't do what you have to do. You just sit there like, Mom, I don't like you come into my house without telling me, or you coming here and taking my stuff, or your sister comes in and pick your clothes, whatever they want. Then now you want to wear the clothes somewhere you can't find it. You have to sit and confront them and tell them, like, you have my clothes? No, I don't like it when you come for my clothes without telling me. So that's another boundary. And another boundary is doing something every week that takes you out of your comfort zone. So in our comfort zone, we don't become creative. We don't become productive because our body is comfortable in that environment. It's normal to us. We can even live in that environment with our eyes closed because that's our comfort zone. It's like me walking to my bathroom at dawn when there's no light. I can make my way because I'm very comfortable. But if I'm in a different settings and I'm like in somebody's house, I'll have to turn on their lights. I'll even be looking for where their lights are. Like, where's the light? Because I'm uncomfortable. But in my house, I know where to touch the lights when I wake up without opening my eyes. Okay, so do something new every week to get out of your comfort zone because that will make you very creative. So you don't get the time to waste it. Like this is actually with time boundary, which is using your time wisely to get out of your comfort zone and do creative things. It could be painting, it could be cooking for yourself from now on if you eat outside a lot. It could be trying new adventures like maybe horse riding or trying to ride a bike or a motor or like anything you've always wanted to do. So do something weekly or monthly If you want to start reading, just do it. Something uncomfortable that you've always wanted to do, just start doing it. It's very helpful. And another one is learning to say the shortest word in English. Learning to say the shortest word in English. No. No. This word it sounds so beautiful. No. Learn to say it. You don't have to be a yes man, because a yes man gets worked all over like a doormat. So learn to say no. Learn to tell people, hey, I can't do it. This is my limit. And be faced with whatever they think of. Like, just say it without guilt. What are they going to do? Take off their belt and start hitting you? No. They'll be disappointed, but they'll get over it. And if they refuse to talk to you because of that, well, bye bye, user. You just discarded of someone who was in to use you. Okay, so don't feel bad. Just say no if you can't do something. Say no to people who are trying to use you. Say no to things that you don't feel comfortable about. If it doesn't feel comfortable, just say no and leave it at that. Okay. So that's it. So boundaries where you end and others begin. Oh, I wrote a quote here. A boundary is where you end and the others begin. Limits we set is the limit we set to safeguard our emotional, physical, and mental well-being. Wow, this is so sweet. So where you end, your boundary is where you end, and that's where other people begin. Okay. So for me, this is my boundary. The frame I'm in right now is just like me in this apartment. Everyone has their room. I can't just wake up and be like, oh, I'm going to sleep in that girl's room or somebody else's room or my other flatmate's room. I can't. My boundary is here. This is where my door. Their door is out of my boundary. Okay. We share some boundaries. We share a bathroom. We share the kitchen. Yeah. We share the hall. That is a shared place. But aside that, the rest is their boundaries. I cannot enter into the room. Even the bathroom, when they are there, I have to respect that. Even if they are sitting in a certain seat in the kitchen or in their certain state in the kitchen, I can't just throw them off and start cooking in the same place they're cooking or something like that, you know. So that's where the people begin. You need to find out if you don't have a backbone and a boundary. You need to, with everything I said, I know you find your frame and your way to set a boundary and be encouraged from now on. Honestly, it hurts me to see people just being walked all over and being talked anyhow, and even people talking behind your back anyhow because you don't respect. And it's hard. Like, I want to tell people like, hey, can you just slap them? I don't promote violence, but hey, like what they just did is disrespectful. Tell them something. I don't know, you know. And I might also be in that situation now. I wish somebody would tell me. Okay, I don't mind being corrected. I don't mind if you see someone acting away and I forgot to apply my, apply my sense or whether I want people to tell me, hey, don't, So it's best for me to share with my sisters, my girlfriends here. So with that said, check out my other videos on femininity, self-development, motivation. So many stuff going on. I have some shorts videos. If you don't want to watch the whole video, I put some of the video, not all of the videos, some are in short, so you can also watch that one. And thank you so much for watching. For those of you who want to contact me personally, maybe you don't know I have a social media, or you don't know my social media handles. I have Instagram, which is _ii, and I have a TikTok, which is @ciscaoneil, and my email. I'm going to leave all of that in the link below. And also, when you go into my YouTube link bio, I have my Instagram and TikTok handle. So I'm going to add my email. So if anything that you can leave in a comment, you can just send me an email. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Good night, team. I'll see you guys later. Bye.